Hello, Reddit people. How are you? I'm Mike Rowe, host of a show on the Discovery Channel called Dirty Jobs. I have a website called MicroWorks. Here today to answer your questions, as provided to me mere moments ago. I'm in Times Square somewhere in the Condé Nast building, in the cafeteria, which is suspiciously void of food at the moment. Nothing around for me to eat. Just your questions. This thing, who is unnamed. That may not be true. I'm told it has a name, but it's a closely guarded secret, which is troubling. I always like to know who I'm talking to, but since I don't really know you and I don't really know him, I'm okay with that. I've been given a gift, I should mention, I suppose for reasons of payola, plugola, and full disclosure. This is a 4 gigabyte storage thing, for which I'm grateful, and I have some water. I'm going to need all of this water as I answer 11 questions from y'all, starting with Martin Bishop 396. Martin Bishop 396 writes, "Dear Mike, have you ever really felt like your life was in danger doing a dirty job? Ever had to stop filming because it was just too dangerous?" Martin Bishop, yes, actually. Dirty Jobs has no script. We don't do take two. We don't rehearse. We don't really scout. We just kind of show up and see what happens. So consequently, we find ourselves in places for which we are both untrained and unequipped to be. Those include, in no particular order, the top of the Mackinac Bridge, which is this 600-foot, 5-mile structure that spans the Straits of Mackinac, connecting the upper and lower peninsulas up there in Michigan. And I changed the light bulb on the top of those towers and walked up the big cable to do that. And along the way, I might have crapped my pants a little bit. I had a camera screwed into my helmet in order to show the viewer every ounce of terror on my face. And it's a funny thing, when you feel like you're really scared, I mean, for real, and you also know you're on camera at the same time, it kind of inspires you to man up a little bit, or at least not be a big screaming baby. So I would say that had the cameras not been on me, I probably wouldn't have done that. And this is by no means an expression of bravery. Look at it more as a cautionary tale. Just because somebody points a camera at you, Martin Bishop, there's no reason to do anything you wouldn't normally do. Unless, of course, you aspire to be rich and famous, in which case you might just have to go ahead and confront the demons of your better nature. Most recently, similarly with heights, we have an episode coming up soon where we washed windows in Hawaii in the bosun's chair, not on a scaffold, but you literally go off the edge of a gantry crane and you put your ass in this little 2x4, a bucket of suds and a squeegee, and you go down the front of this 500-story building. Horrifying, actually. And again, the same thing. You do it because the guys you're with actually do the job, and because there are a bunch of cameras pointed at you. But I will say that my intrepid cameraman, Doug Glover, who's gone with me into the very jowls of purgatory, actually balked on this one. He just had a little kid, and he looked over the side and he said, "Mike, no, not going to do it." So Doug is an example of a guy who is still capable of responding to both his conscience and his instincts, whereas me, your humble host, too stupid to know any better. All that, Martin Bishop 3976, is a long way of saying yes. Let's move on to Live Jam. No, Live Jamie. Sorry, Jamie. What a difference a couple of vowels makes, huh? Live Jam 821.
Wait, the numbers are just they're kind of scored. So
Their score. What are they scored on?
karma points for
This is troubling.
insightful comments.
This is troubling. I'm sorry, what's your name?
Eric.
You're Eric. Eric has just informed me that I've not only mispronounced Live Jamie's name, the number next to it is not a reflection of your, what is it, moniker? Handle?
The handle.
The handle. You have, in fact, been judged on your karma. Why? I don't need. Why? Do we believe in karma?
I think some of us do.
I don't disbelieve it necessarily, but you said it with the level of certainty that made me think that perhaps there had been some scientific breakthrough vis-a-vis the discovery of karma that now allowed it to be discussed with a certainty that otherwise
Yeah, there's an algorithm that determines karma.
I understand.
So yeah.
I apologize live, Jamie. You're not 821. You're just the guy who. See, but Martin Bishop, his karma is 3,976, and Jamie's is 821. And coming up, we have somebody whose is only 24. So what does this mean? Are these bad? If your karma score is high, are you nice? Or if your karma score
You are you provide the most interesting comments, or you submit the most interesting stories.
is. I see. All right. Well, compared to Martin Bishop, this question is, from on the karma scale, maybe kind of lame. Let's see. Wikipedia says, yeah, it is lame. He's already quoting from a third party. You're a professional opera singer. Tell us about that. Would you care to sing part of your favorite opera for us? No, Live Jamie, I probably wouldn't. I probably will to do it since you ask, and your karma score is in such desperate, pathetic shape. Perhaps if I answer your question straight up, you'll have a richer, rounder world view, and turn that frown upside down, and you'll be a happy, karma, smiling dude. But first of all, yeah, I got into the business in the opera, and it's not because I really loved the opera. It's because I couldn't get hired in any of the unions that I needed to belong to. SAG and AFTRA govern the film and acting business, and I thought years ago that I might want to be an actor. But I couldn't get any acting gigs unless I was in the acting union, but I couldn't get in the acting union unless I had some acting gigs. This is bull crap. So I found a loophole, and the loophole was AGMA. AGMA stands for the American Guild of Musical Artists, and they are a union that oversees the opera. So I went to the library and I checked out an album, La Boheme, and I listened to the shortest aria that I could find over and over again. It's called the Coat aria. Kind of a stupid song about a guy who misses his coat, and he walks around and he's singing about his coat, missing coat, whatever. Anyway, I memorized it by listening to it over and over, and then I crashed an audition for the Baltimore Opera, and I sang this song, and I got in, right? It's crazy. I don't know why, but they let me in. And I bought my union cards, the ones I really wanted, but I wound up sticking around because the music was better than I thought, and I was in a repertory company with 80 people, and 40 of the guys that were in that company were not particularly interested in any of the girls, right? So I'm one of 5 guys who is sort of interested in girls, and there are 40 girls, and they're all dressed as like French prostitutes, and I'm like dressed up like a pirate or a Viking, and this is like Wagner and Puccini and Verdi just playing the hell out of some of the best music ever written, and I stayed for 6 years. There were a lot of girls, a lot of really good music. So that's kind of how it happened for me. And while I was in the opera, I got some commercial work, and then I started to sort of noodle away in the business, and that's essentially how I got going. The second part of your question, the Coat aria. Vecchiasimara senti il resto al pianto scendere sacri montio devi le me grazia ricevi. I hope you're pleased, Live Jamie. People are looking at me now as though I'm insane. Big thumbs up from side. That's good.